Well, it looks like Chris Jericho has just been suspended by the WWE for, I guess you could call it, abusing a flag. They were on tour over in Brazil, and to me, it looked like all he was doing was trying to draw some big-time heat, and he did just that. He grabbed a flag, he wadded it up in a ball, and then he soccer kicked it out to the audience. And then he cut a little promo. I couldn't really hear what he was saying in the promo, but apparently the WWE saw fit that those actions were worthy of being suspended. Now, if history teaches you anything, you would know that abusing other countries' flags, that's nothing new. HBK comes to mind. He pretty much had sex with the Canadian flag. He dry humped it at least. And then he stuck it up his nose. Of course, did anything happen to HBK when he did that? Well, of course not. And of course, that happened, about 15 years ago. So the times were different back then, and that kind of thing was overlooked. Of course, now we fast forward to the present day. Chris Jericho, all he's trying to do is draw heat. And what better way to draw heat than to, decimate another country's flag? That's, without question, the best way to draw heat. And he did just that. The crowd hated his guts. Now, he does that, and he gets suspended. Now, it seems kind of convenient that he gets suspended when it's about time for him to go on tour with his rock band Fozzy. How convenient is this? Of course, it's only a 30-day suspension, so it's not like he's going to be gone for a whole lot of time, just for a few short days. So, my question to you guys is, what's really up with this? Was this suspension, was it just given to him so he could go on tour? Or do you truly feel that he was suspended for disgracing another country's flag? I call bullshit on the latter, because, like I just said earlier, disgracing another country's flag is nothing new to the WWE, and for them to do that is kind of ridiculous. However, I know it's a new era in the WWE, and maybe they're trying to make an example out of Chris Jericho. However, I call bullshit on that, and I think that the WWE wanted an easy way out to get Jericho off of TV so he could go on his little tour with Fozzy. Because, to me, that makes the most sense. Now, I will say this, though. I will add that, Chris Jericho just did a run-in this past Monday night on Raw with Randy Orton to kind of start a program with him. So it is kind of odd that they would suspend him for a BS reason like that just so he can go on tour when he just inserted himself in a feud with Randy Orton. There's so many different factors, though, that it is kind of hard to decide what's true and what's not. Of course, this is wrestling, it's really hard to decipher anything like that. But I just wanted to drop a few thoughts on you guys to let you know my thoughts. The comments below, go ahead and tell me what you think. Do you think this is bullshit? Or do you think this is the real deal? Anyways, this is goldizzy. Peace out, guys.